Hey everybody, and welcome to another mini episode with me, DJ Batman. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day or night, depending on when you're listening. But anyways, today's episode, we are talking about diversity, and all the other special words they want to use. So, basically, we have an issue in today's world where every time somebody does something, it needs to be pushed as diversity. For instance, as an example, with what's going on with the current Supreme Court pick, and the fact that our president said that he's going to hire this woman, or not hire this woman, but nominate this woman, I forget her exact name off the top of my head, to be the next choice for the Supreme Court only because she's black. And I think that is not how diversity works. Like, for instance, Star Trek. So we have this stuff now where they constantly have to tell you, oh, we have the first transgender character, we have the first black captain, you know, blah, 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 blah. But the problem is that's not how Star Trek works. It never has been. You know, Star Trek was always about just doing it, not talking about it, not telling you they're going to do it. They just did it. You know, if they had a character, and to be honest, Star Trek in the past has already reached all those milestones that the modern Star Trek tries to claim. I mean, the whole transgender thing. I mean, there was an episode in Deep Space Nine where Quark himself changed to be a woman, and we're talking like full on, like, changed everything, the DNA and everything. But that was in the future where they were able to do that. You know, but it was already done. Just like the first lesbian character, you know, Jadzia Dax, you know, in Deep Space Nine, who had the symbiote. You know, one of her past symbiote hosts, you know, the symbiote was in, you know, was married to this one person, and, you know, she still had the feelings because she has the feelings from the past host, and, you know, they got together for a short time. You know, it's like whoop-de-doo. It's like they go, hey, we have some lesbians in this show. It's like, yeah, and so what? Nobody cares. Because here's the thing I look at. Diversity is not diversity if you have to tell me you have diversity. Because there's so many times, like, for instance, Google. Google tried pushing for some time the myth, which has been going on for some time, has been debunked ever since the 70s, even before that, which is that women get paid less than men. But the problem is, when Google actually did an internal investigation into their own company, they ended up finding out that they were paying men less than the women. So they ended up having to pay out a lot of money to all the men that were working for them, because they were trying to push a narrative that ended up being wrong. Because here's the thing. Anybody who says that, you know, they're doing something for, you know, diversity or equality or whatever phrase they want to use, most likely, most of the time, they're not actually out to do that. Because, like for instance, you know, I let people know that I eventually want to, once my business can make more money, is to take 20% of all my proceeds of everything I do and put that towards creating a center to tackle the suicide rate, which is out of control in this country. You know, but I don't sit there and be like, I'm going to cure it. I'm just saying I have an idea and I want to spend my own money to do it. You know, I'm not begging anybody else. I'm not, you know, getting in people's faces about it. Well, I mean, I'll bring it up once in a while on different subjects, but, you know, that's just because people have ignored it for so long. But, you know, it's a lot different when you're actually trying to solve a real problem compared to people being like, well, we need these characters to be black. Like, for instance, the movie Snow White that Disney's doing. It makes no sense because neither of the characters are white. You know, and people have said, well, Gal Gadot is white. And I'm like, that's not white. You know, she's not from the area that these were written. You know, Snow White was written in Germany. You know, neither of the actresses are from that area. You know, and you know, if Hollywood wants to do this whole thing of we need to pick people from where they're at, then why don't we do that? It's just like the Ariel movie, the Little Mermaid, that they're doing live action. They're having a black girl play the Ariel, which makes absolutely no sense to me because first of all, they're at the bottom of the ocean where barely any sun ever even gets to, and secondly, the whole Little Mermaid story takes place in the northern hemisphere. Again, a white story being taken and replaced. There are so many stories, you know, that came out of Africa that they could be using, but they don't. They try to take white stories and try to diversify them when it doesn't work, because then you're changing the concept of the story itself. You're changing the element of what makes the story great. It's just like, for instance, the Pinocchio movie that everybody remembers that Disney made, the animated one. Everybody has that deep into their head, but if they actually were to go read the actual book, they would be like, holy crap, what the fuck is going on with this, man? Because seriously, the actual story is messed up. There's one part where Pinocchio literally tries to hang himself. You know, it's like, that wasn't in the Disney movie. You know, like with the donkey scene, it's much, much more terrifying in the books. So, but basically all I'm trying to say is that we need to stop giving money to these corporations. We need to stop giving money to these businesses that try to push diversity or push equality or whatever, because the problem is you can't force either of them. You can't force any of them. You can't force people to be better to each other. You have to give them a reason to care. You have to, like I've said before with the homeless thing, you have to give somebody a reason to actually want to be better. Nobody is going to just do it because you tell them to. You know, we can tell businesses all day long that they need to be nicer to people with disabilities, but to be honest, telling people constantly is just going to make people hate them more. You know, people don't realize that, you know, we have control to a degree, but our brains are an extremely powerful tool that can manipulate us, that can make us see things, hear things, and many other things that aren't actually there. You know, I'm tired of this concept of that people always have full control over everything they do. Yes, to a degree. But we also always have things going on in our head, and also from the people we hang out with, our environment, and other things that determine who we are. You know, the reason why a lot of people go crazy and start thinking a certain way is because they hang around a lot of the people that think the same way. And because they're not hearing anything outside of their little bubble, you know, they're, you know, staying in that same mindset instead of growing out of it. And that's where the whole thing of, like, this is the same kind of people be saying, you know, we need more equality, we need more diversity, you know, businesses need to have a certain percentage of black, you know, higher-ups or Asians or, you know, but that doesn't matter. A person's race should never matter when it comes to hiring the best person for the job. You know, like some people have said, like, well, it's like the Catwoman. They're saying, oh, well, Catwoman is now black. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. No. I wasn't a big fan of the Halle Berry movie either. That movie was really poorly written. It was mostly just there so you can be like, ooh, look at how hot Halle Berry is. That's really all the movie was. But I've had people go, well, wasn't Eartha Kitt the first Catwoman? It's like, no. She was hired for like a few times throughout the 66 series, not because she was black, but because she was an amazing actress, and they needed a good actress to play Catwoman at those times because the original actress wasn't able to be there on set. But nowadays, it's being used as being like, oh, we're hiring this person not because they're the best for the job, or they fit the or they fit the role that we need. It's we're hiring these people because of their skin color, which is, to be honest, the complete opposite of what Martin Luther King Jr. wanted. So, but anyways, but yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. You know, I think the whole, equality and diversity stuff just is ridiculous, and we need to stop pushing that kind of stuff. Because again, pushing diversity again isn't diversity. So, but anyways, thank you for listening. I really appreciate everybody who listens to me. It really, it's really nice to know that people out there do care about what I say. But please, if you would like to help the show out, liking a comment will definitely help, and especially commenting, let me know what you think of the episodes. On the episodes, it really helps me know what you think and what I can do to improve, because I'm just doing the best I can, and feedback really helps me out. So also, if you'd like to support the show, I will always have my links in the description for my Etsy and Teespring. I always got cool stuff on there. Everything I make myself. The Teespring, I only make the designs. Kind of another company puts the designs on stuff for me. So, but yeah. So anyways, thanks again for everybody who listens. It really helps out. And, yeah. Until next time, like always, I leave every episode with a song. So we're going to end this episode with a song called Don't Let Me Be This Way by Sleepaway Camp. Until next time, peace.
I go to bed early and I hope when I wake in the morning I'm someone different. And I wake up and do the same things I did the day before. I'm losing. Oh God, please don't let me be this way. I can't breathe, I can't communicate. I find every way to start another day. How many more cycles before I let me plot it out, let me steam away all the wrinkles in this fabric. Using a tapestry as a map only leads to pattern recognition. I need an intervention. Oh God, please don't let me be this way. I can't breathe, I can't communicate. I find every way to stop